A little while ago, I had the opportunity to take a flight. I need to take a trip. I left the local airport, Seattle, for a trip out of state. I had booked this business trip on the first business day of the week after a long holiday weekend. I booked the flight early in the morning in an attempt to avoid the rush. I had scheduled my vehicle to be parked at a park and ride. I hadn't used this park and ride before, but the ads had assured me that it had 24-hour attendance on the lot, had a 24-hour shuttle, even though it was a few minutes away from the airport, that returned every 20 minutes. I'd built in enough time. It wasn't a big deal. And so when I arrived at the park and ride in the wee hours of the morning, I was surprised that the gates were closed and locked, even though it was a 24-hour business. There were a few other people waiting. I had just seen the van, and I presume it was the shuttle, leaving the lot as I pulled in. I waited for a little bit more than 20 minutes before the van returned. The driver gets out of the van and magically turns into the parking lot attendant, takes his keys, opens up the gate, arranges for people to park where he needs them to park. A handful of us were ready and already there, get on the shuttle. Our bags are loaded on the shuttle, and the driver proceeds to wait as more people trickle in. And as they trickle in, he helps them park, takes their suitcases, puts them on the shuttle, gets them loaded on the shuttle. This goes on for pretty close to 30 minutes. And finally, we're underway toward the airport because now it's later. The traffic volume has now increased. It takes us more than 20 minutes to get to the airport terminal. I'm not too worried about this. I've built in enough time. I have a habit of building in extra time when I travel for things that I can't foresee. I don't like to be stressed when I travel. But the couple that was on the shuttle with me, they were pretty stressed. If I remember right, they were going to Boston and they had made multiple comments to the driver about, we need to go, we're going to miss our flight. The driver, while loading all the other people, either didn't hear or didn't care. I finally got to the terminal. When we finally got to the terminal, the other couple sprinted. They were running for security to get in the security line. I walked the security line. Just as I came to rest in the security line, I could see the couple of few people ahead of me. They closed that security checkpoint down. So we were all asked, so me and a couple hundred of my fellow passengers were asked to go to one of the other security checkpoints. So away we fled to the next security checkpoint. I get in line there. This point, look at my watch. I knew this was going to be close. This was starting to be a concern. As I got through the security, TSA doing their typical methodical job, being focused on safety, not on speed, I realized as I get through security that my flight was supposed to leave right now. Look at the marquee. I see the gate that it's leaving from. I look at a map and I recognize at that point that my gate is at the far end of the concourse. Carry-on bag in one hand, sport coat over my other arm. I'm sprinting through a crowded airport. I arrive at the gate. Doors are closed. I've missed my flight. With sweat pouring off me, pit stains the size of Nebraska, the attendant assures me I have missed my flight, but is very professional, very courteous, and helps me arrange for other transportation to be able to get to my destination. They arranged for me to go to a different airport, transfer aircraft, fly then on to my destination. I would be hours late. I contact the people that I'm to meet that morning at my destination and let them know that I will not see them until the afternoon. I'm late. When I finally arrive at my destination and meet with those people, they chide me a little bit good naturedly, give me a bad time about being tardy. Punctuality is really important to me. And I felt that I was being disrespectful to them, not honoring the time commitment that they had offered to me. But fortunately, there had been enough deposits into the trust account where the chiding was good natured. Things like, of all the people in the world I expected to be late, I would have never expected you to miss a flight. Touche. Things went well. It ended up not costing me money because of the inconveniences of the day. That night in my room, doing my daily inventory, I start listing out. So no lot attendant. The driver was not on time and doing his circle in his route expeditiously. TSA was not well prepared for the large crowds. The flight and the airline was running on time. All these things happened. And I realized also that Me missing my flight was my fault. You see, I'd forgot to do one thing that would have taken care of all these problems and would have just went away. At one thing, I hadn't reached into my network to find out about parking rights. You see, I have a friend, his name's Dale. He flies much more frequently than I do. He has used many of the different parking rights in the area. When I later contacted him, he was eager to give me the knowledge he had about the parking that he used, about the parking he uses, about how many attendants are on the lot, the best place to park in the lot, how many shuttles there are, who's more helpful, which terminals they drop off in what order. He had all the information and I hadn't reached out to him. You see, the solution that I needed was in my network. Sometimes our biggest problem is that we don't understand the significance of our network and how beneficial it is to us, from small things to large things. The solutions that I seek are often in my network. The solutions you seek are often in your network. When you're looking for solutions, when you have questions about just about anything, think through your network, review who's in there, and remind yourself who probably has experienced this before and is willing to give you the information. Two things happen here. One, you get the help you want, makes life a little bit easier, a little bit more pleasant for you. And the other thing that happens is they get to feel important. That person you reach out to probably wants to help you on your journey. We all want to be helpful. We all want to feel like we're contributing to somebody else's success. Are you asking people for small businesses? By you asking people in your network for input, you're helping them enjoy that feeling of helping you be successful. So don't be afraid to reach out to your network. The solutions that you and I need in our lives are often in our network. I'm Joe Miller, Commissioner, Pro Networking League.